Hey guys, welcome back. I've been gone for a little bit, but this is going to be episode 2 of the same series. Today we're going to train some legs. I have 3 different leg days, so this is going to be one of my leg days. Moderate intensity. We're going to see how it goes today. I've already run for the day, so my legs are a little bit tired, but I'm not going to use that as an excuse. I'm going to try to take you through the workout. Just to give you a little overview of what we're going to do, you're going to see some hamstring curls, front squats, a couple variations of leg press, some lunges, and if my back and hamstrings can take it, then we're going to do some Romanian deadlifts with dumbbells. So it's going to take you on this ride for today. I don't know how much talking I'm going to do, so I can kind of focus. I've got my man Big A behind the camera as usual, doing my video for me. So I want to take you on the journey, and I appreciate you guys for watching, and let me know in the comments below how much more you want to see. All right, with that, we better get ready. Try to avoid when you're doing your hamstrings of going too fast in your warm-up sets. I kind of see people get in and kind of start racking them out. Take your time with them so you can really feel them and fill them up with blood before you start doing other bigger movements or adding more weight. So really warm them up. Don't just kind of get into the weight. That is horrible on the muscle group, on the ligaments and tendons. So take your time getting into it. Now we're going to superset it with the front squat. I like to squat with my shoes off. You get better proprioception between your feet and the floor. You can really push better when you don't have on shoes. And also I have on running shoes, so that's not gonna cut it for squatting. All right, the knees are tired. We're gonna put the sleeves on. I'm using a very low inch slant board, only because I like the way it positions my hips when I have the bar up on my shoulders like that. It lets me sit all the way down and keeps my back a bit more upright, I've noticed. And when I don't use it, I have a bigger tilt forward, which puts a strain on my low back and my abdominal. So use the slant board. It's not a cheat. Some people like to use plates underneath their heels. If you have a slant board, it's a bit more stable. You know, the plates have a little bit of shape to them, so they wobble a little bit, but that's why I use a slant board. So with that, it's time to go. Try to take those sets to failure, guys. Don't leave 1 or 2 in reserve and then move on. But get close to failure, or you're just twiddling your thumbs at that point. heavy. I think I'm gonna go up again. That felt pretty good, felt lubricated. I think the knees are coming around. I hope, we'll find out. But while I'm resting, I wanted to kind of get into a little bit more of why this series is called Relentless. So after, let's see, big race last year, triathlon stuff, started really experiencing some back issues. Not back pain per se, more nerve issues. And I was trying to do like a lot of massage therapy, dry needling, shockwave therapy. I get massages all the time. So I was really taking care of my body, but the pain just was not going away. So I stepped back from running for quite some time because that seemed to agitate it. And I thought maybe if I stepped away from the running that it would subside, but it didn't. So I figured, okay, now it's time to kind of look underneath the hood. If you guys know me, you know I'm big on, getting your lab work, getting, MRIs and ultrasound, things of that nature. So for some of you who don't know me, I played women's professional full contact football for 3 years, 2006 to 2009, and 2005, really, 2008. And I played tight end, so not only catching, but hitting as well. Fast forward, I go to get this MRI done on my back, and I am missing my disc space in L5-S1, which I kind of already knew that this was a thing, but I'm having some narrowing around around the nerve sacs. And so I literally have a disc that is unfortunately sitting on the nerve, and everyone says, all the doctors, I've had several opinions now, say I need surgery, back surgery. And it's a tough pill to swallow. It makes me a little emotional when I'm discussing it, but if any of you know me very well, you know that I'm gonna do it anyway. And I'm gonna keep running, I'm gonna keep swimming, I'm gonna keep riding, I'm gonna keep training, because actually, aside from the run, when I'm doing everything else, I feel my best. But I'm relentless because I want to prove that it's not going to stop me. And so that's what this series is really all about. Coming to the completion of 2025, achieving all of the goals that I set forth. And so I'll get into another episode where I really talk about all the goals from the races and all that stuff. But I just want to kind of give you guys an idea of why it's called Relentless, because I am relentless. So here we go. Let's get to this next set. Again. 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 Oh, let it go. I'd say I finished that. That was tough. Got work to do. Here we go. Let's move on. All right, on to linear leg press. I really like this because I have control of the depth. I can go really deep. with my back pinned up against it and really push some solid weight on it. So I really, really do like this machine. This is an older school type machine. Not all gyms have it. So if you do have the opportunity to have one in your gym, utilize this. You can move your feet all over the place, and you can also latch it to push at the same time. So it doesn't have to be unilateral, but I like to train my body part, my whole body, one side at a time for the most part, as you've noticed. And this is why I like this machine. So let's get to it. I'm dreading it a little bit. So with this, I like to put my foot slightly outside of my hip. And when I get into the platform, I kind of screw my foot into the platform. I push down my hip flexor a little bit, just so I'm kind of, it helps me to engage my hamstrings a little bit more. I don't know why that is, but it does. So I push it down. I can feel my hamstring and glute. I push forward, release. Now the weight's on you. I like to come back really, really far. So I come all the way back here. I'm at the stop peg, which I'm gonna adjust actually because it's too close. This is also a great way to figure out which leg is stronger and weaker, which is why I like to do it this way. Do you have to come this deep? No. 90 degrees. You do get better growth, they say, if you are able to break below parallel and get your calf as close to the hamstring as possible. It's kind of like the squat that I was just doing over there, if you think about it. Little pump action going here. Woo. You will feel every part of your leg on this machine. I love it. This video are for the women's physique girls who tell me I lost my legs. I don't think so, ladies. Be careful, you never know what's underneath here. I had a women's physique competitor, another pro. She saw me and they're always like, oh, you know, when are you gonna get on stage? And she sees me, she hadn't seen me in a while. She goes, oh, I guess you traded competing for running now. Look like you have a runner's body. Meanwhile, she's now gained quite a bit of weight. I hear it, I listen to it, but you know, be mindful. You ladies know when, as you guys call me, Miss Maria comes to the stage, I do quite well for myself, so I'm gonna keep it at that. All right, RDLs, let's hit it. I'm gonna keep the weight mid today. Typically when I'm doing deadlifts with dumbbells, I work my way up to about 100s, but my hamstrings are feeling a bit toasty, so I think I'm gonna keep it at 75, 80, somewhere in that range, and just kind of work the reps. So, all right, here we go. Don't hold your breath when you do those, guys. I thought about it. I don't know what made me think about it, but I had a friend back in the day, we used to do these, and she would hold her breath. We finally worked our way up to like 50 pounds. And when I looked over at her after our set, she was on the floor, she passed out. Don't hold your breath. For ladies and men, your glutes can take a lot of load, like a lot. I see too many women picking up like 25, 35 pounds doing RDLs. That's not gonna cut it. That's where your wrist wraps will come in handy, because more than likely your hand grip, your strength is giving out, but not really your hamstrings and glutes. So definitely get some wrist wraps, because they can take some serious load, especially if you're trying to grow your glutes and hamstrings. You want to add load to it. So don't be afraid of the weight. Ladies, our lower bodies are designed to carry load. So we are actually very, very strong. A lot of you are stronger than you give yourself credit for. Don't be afraid of the weight. Get in there, pick the weight up, push the weight. I have no idea what I'm doing next. I say lunges. Yeah, some leg extensions and some lunges. I do my leg extensions a little bit different. Some people kind of just pump through the weight. I kind of like to hold the weight a little bit. If you have knee issues, I don't recommend you do this. I know you guys are probably gonna be like, didn't she say her knees were bothering her in the beginning? This doesn't bother my knees at all. And actually my knees feel perfectly fine. So, but I'm gonna do like some holding, because I think what happens with leg extensions, which is a very good tool to utilize for quad growth and development, people don't hold the squeeze enough. People kind of just rep out and pump through them. Yes, you feel the burn, but you don't really get that really good pump if you really squeeze the muscle. So you don't have to go as heavy also when you do that. I mean, it's easy to rack a leg extension for most people, to be quite honest, but really squeeze the muscle, you don't need so much weight. So here we go. Last set of lunges. If you do legs and you're not sweating, I can tell you the piece you're missing, the contraction. That will make you sweat if you do it right. Seriously. If you do it right and you take yourself to failure. And let me explain something about failure in legs. A lot of you stop because it's your cardiovascular that's making you feel like you can't go anymore. You're out of breath, but your muscles probably could take like another 5 or 6 reps. Do your best to try to push through that cardiovascular moment you're having. Take a couple seconds. You can take a pause, rest pause in a set. As soon as you feel like your heart rate's getting too high, come to a stand or take the leg extension down. Give yourself a 5 to 10 second count and then start again. That's completely fine to do because the goal here is to stress and tax the muscle that you're working. And if you keep stopping short of that, a lot of you are not getting any results because of that. You're not really pushing to failure. So take your time, catch your breath, do some more reps, do a couple of rest pauses. Those are completely fine. There are not rules saying that you gotta bang all 15 or whatever your number is out. Also, that number is arbitrary. Your muscle will tell you. It'll just completely stop flexing when it's had enough lactic acid buildup. So if you get to 15 and you feel like you have some more in the tank, give it, a couple more. If you have some sets, like I said, leave 2 to 3 in reserve and then go from there. All right, I've procrastinated long enough. Let me do my lunges. That's a wrap, because I feel close to the puke point. I didn't want to admit it, but yeah, I'm close. Whew. Yeah, and that, my friends, is leg day number 1. Thank you for joining me on this episode 2 of the Relentless series. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you all for episode 3. Peace.